forests don't grow trees like that, or trees that are remaining like that are old growth and they're being preserved. Having said that, there are a couple of different possibilities on this, and we're still in the exploration process. There's a possibility of getting some from a building that's being torn down, because southern yellow pine was used in the mills and factories for supporting beams. That long, who knows? That's probably going to be difficult. The other is we can get this laminated out of a number of thinner pieces glued together, and they will use some places. They won't have 30-foot pieces, very likely. They'll have pieces that are shorter in there, but they'll overlap in such a way that you don't have any breaks at any one place. That is going to be, there's an advantage to that in that if there's a defect in one area, it won't go all the way through, whereas in one of these, if you were to be able to get a piece like that, the chances are it's going to have some kind of a major defect in it because of the quality of trees now. It may have a split, it may twist, whereas the laminated piece will be fairly straight and will not have large defects in it. The only thing is, it's not what they used. Now we think we can probably get pieces for the cross sills. As you can see, they're only a little over 8 feet long, and they're slightly different cross sections. So we think we can do that, but for the long ones here, the jury's still out as to just how we're going to. This is the remains, it won't be remaining much longer, of the train line with a hose that would have a coupling on it that would connect to the freight car that was being pulled by this. This is an air line that runs from one end of the train to the other and is connected to the brake valves inside. And we will obviously have to replace this. In fact, we're going to replace all of the air piping. There's several hundred feet of different sizes of steel pipe which conducts the air from one place to another in a rather complex method. And it's started to rust in many, many areas. Down underneath the car, we have some very important items. First thing, in the center, between the wheels, you have one of the 4 motors for the car. This is what we call a GE80 motor. GE meaning General Electric, because they were one of the 2 big builders. General Electric and Westinghouse were the 2 major builders of electrical components for trolley cars. That's a 40 horsepower motor designed to run on about 550 volts direct current. It ran right to this spot. The motors all work. However, because the Atlantic Shore, or York Utilities Company as it was at the end, didn't have much money, we're pretty certain that it is going to need a lot of TLC. Within this case is a gear which is directly pressed onto the axle. This is the axle right here, which turns around. On either end of the axle is the wheels. We'll talk about that in a second. Right here is a big spur gear, just a plain old ordinary gear, and on the end of the armature, which is the part of the motor that